Okay, this topic seems to keep coming up, keep coming up, keep coming up. And I just want to give my version, okay? My version. So many people say that the symbol for the Tao, that's where you've got, it's like a Nike swoosh that's black and Nike swoosh that's white. And in the middle of the black swoosh, there's a little white dot. And in the middle of the white swoosh, there's a black dot. And people say this symbolizes good and evil together. In other words, people are always saying, you can't have love without hate. You can't have good without evil. Which makes the corollary that the universe is good and evil. Balance of good and evil. My name is Quimby, and I basically like to give my opinions on these kinds of subjects. So, Quimby says, yes, this is valid. Everyone's surprised because most people don't believe Quimby believes in good and evil. Yes. But Quimby wants to put it in perspective because it's not really a truth. It is an observation, probably in Hollywood movies. One of my friends says anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic. The word means when you take a human view of things and paste it into, for example, animals. Animal behaviorists in psychology are going to flunk you. They are going to flunk you if you say that animals have human behaviors. I'm not an animal behaviorist, but I know that's what they say because I had introductory psychology many, many years ago. But this is the problem, that we take human ways of being and apply them to non-human life. Let's give you an example. Is a scorpion with its venom evil? If a human got a glass aquarium full of scorpions and milked the venom from the scorpions and then used it to poison someone, is that evil? The answer is the human is poisoning someone for a reason. Is it evil? You can't say. Because there are potential places where you might want to use a poison to make someone sick or kill them, and the person that you are killing might be a terrorist. And so you might be doing a great service for your country to kill the terrorist. Or you might be a mass murderer, killing random people using scorpion venom. And then people would say, well, pretty much we're going to say that's a criminal activity. Are criminal acts actually evil? Let's get back to the scorpion. Are scorpions evil? Do scorpions have the mental capacity of a human in order to consider their actions? No. Scorpions act on instincts to the best of our scientific knowledge. I have not studied scorpions, so I don't really understand their behavior. But this is kind of a generalized idea. And it could be wrong. It could be wrong because we think about things like animal behaviors based upon television shows and movies. So when it comes to behaviors of some kind of animals like the great white shark, we have been told they go into feeding frenzies and they'll eat each other. Is it true? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. No, we don't know. Because the people who do study great white sharks, whatever their research is buried somewhere. And the newest information that I've seen, even in the past few weeks, is it seems to depend a lot on the human who is studying the great white shark as to the behavior of the great white shark. The short answer is, if this is true, your consciousness affects the behavior of the shark. If you have fear in your emotional aura, that might attract a shark. And this little bit that I saw recently said, if you have competition in your emotional aura, that can attract a shark. What does that mean? Well, according to this information, if you're a surfer in a surfing competition, you have a competitive energy in your aura. And the sharks can pick up on that, and they might see you as a competitor for their food. And this article went on to talk about how shark habitat has been severely restricted. The massive amount of ocean farming of fish, plus these enormous nets that catch fish and catch sharks, and sometimes are left drifting out there, have really narrowed the numbers of sharks and their habitat. So, this article went on to say, if you go into the water and you have set yourself an intention to be at peace, which is basically the opposite polarity of fear, sharks can pick up on that. And basically, it's a very safe way for you to enter the water. This is quite new. I never heard anything like this. But anyways, so if you want to know whether there is good and evil in the symbol for the Tao, the two Nike wishes with the little dot of the opposite shade in the middle, it is not easy to say you're right. Because humans don't have good information. We are heavily conditioned by Hollywood, and we're not well educated in our school systems. Now, on our planet, we have the world leaders who are constantly making up the news. And the news is designed to get us to build big militaries because there's enormous profits, trillions of dollars that go in to military budgets for the military industrial complex. So they want us to think good versus evil, my country versus some other country. So among the human population, we're conditioned to believe this. Conditioning is another term from psychology. If you're conditioned, it means you're in essence brainwashed to believe this. And this is kind of a planet Earth thing. We don't know civilizations on other planets that are more advanced than us. They might say, you got it completely wrong because we're so far advanced, we work together as a planet. We have what's known as unity consciousness. In other words, we know we're all connected. And we don't see us as evil. We are all working together for mutual benefit. If you want the science of it, you have to look at the scale of human consciousness. And you can find that on the internet pretty easy. There's lots of graphics. And the scale runs from 1 to 1,000. 1 is the consciousness of an amoeba, a one-celled organism you'd find in a river water. And 1,000 is the consciousness of Jesus or Buddha. On this scale, it's a logarithmic scale. On this scale, everything under 200 is a negativity. If it wasn't a logarithmic scale, you would say, okay, well, only 20% of the scale of human consciousness is negative. Do you want to go as far as evil? No. No. Because many of the things that are in the negativity range are not evil. They're, apathy, for example. Is apathy evil? No. Is anger evil? No. What is evil? In the human realm, someone wants to say organized crime. A psychopath on a rampage. Mass murderers. Somebody else might say, well, it doesn't have to be so much about killing. It could be, like corporations that have no souls. And the reason to be for corporations is to produce profit, regardless of the effect it has on humans. And people like yours truly feel like corporations have great potential and great incentive to be evil because all they care about is money. To sum up, if you are really trying to figure out if the Tao means good versus evil, why don't you go to a Buddhist monastery or a Taoist monastery, become a monk, spend 25 years meditating and learning about the Tao, and then you can have an expert opinion. It might not be perfect because it's going to be conditioned by being a Taoist monk, but I think you're going to have a much better idea than what I see the general population saying. Don't buy in to group mind. In other words, just because most people are saying one thing doesn't make it really true. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please share it out and subscribe if you like.